Welcome. In honor of Aquarius season beginning today, I wanted to offer a short series of talks on the principles of self-mastery. As we are coming into this new age, the Aquarian Age, it is an age and a time where we are called to elevate our consciousness in order to become the powerful creators and innovators that we are, that we were designed to be, to bring forth the very best of who we are in order to serve and support our families, our communities, and this planet. The Aquarian consciousness is about really looking at what's best for the whole, for the human race, not just what will benefit a few. So I want to just talk about some principles and maybe offer a few practices as well for you to weave in, because the Aquarian Age, it's not just about how much information we can take in anymore. This is an age where it's what is your experience? It's your experience and your direct experience that creates a connection to true knowledge and wisdom. This is really where we're wanting to direct ourselves, and that's an inward journey where we no longer are outsourcing our consciousness and looking to experts to be able to give us the answers. We have it all within us. And so to dedicate to a path of self-mastery is to dedicate ourselves to this way of being, of turning within. So because I'll be sharing some practices and some teachings from the Kundalini tradition, we'll begin with tuning in, Om NAMO, Gurudev NAMO, to call on that highest wisdom teacher, and just to honor the lineage from which some of these teachings come. So bring your palms together. You can give them a little rub. And just bring them to your heart, sitting tall, rolling the shoulders back and down, closing the eyes and just connecting inward, feeling that neutral space. Taking a deep breath in and a full breath out. Good, and inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Inhale. Suspend the breath, stretch the spine tall. Feel a little lift of what we call Mula Bandha. So the pelvic floor draws up. And exhale. Keep your palms pressing like this. We'll do a pranayama for vitality and emotional balance, bringing ourselves back into balance. So palms press at the heart, sitting tall, 4 sniffs in through the nose, 4 sniffs out. Good. Really pump the navel as you inhale and exhale. Hold the gaze at the third eye. Good. Stay with it 1 more minute. Inhale. Suspend the breath. Lift that root lock. Roll the gaze up into the third eye gaze. And exhale. And just take a moment, release your hands. And take a few breaths to just sense the shift. Really coming into your center. Feeling that central column of your spine. In this way, coming into a neutral place. Beautiful. You can keep the eyes closed or you're welcome to open them. So when I speak of self-mastery, I want to be clear there are 2 paths that we can, or ways we can orient towards self-mastery. One is that we have to somehow get power over ourselves, right? We have to dominate some part of ourselves or our lower nature, let's say. That is not the way of self-mastery that I'm wanting to offer here. Instead, I wanted you to think of this as it's mastery with, it's power with and within yourself. It's learning how to unify your higher self and your human awareness, how to really bring them into a deeper relationship. This is really what the path of self-mastery is about. Being able to be our whole selves, not fragmenting off into particular ways of being, but to really be welcoming the whole self. So the first principle of self-mastery is self-responsibility. This is where it all begins. In the Aquarian Age, we are being called to really let go of any stories around victimhood. And that begins with choosing consciously to take responsibility for our healing, for our lives. And self-responsibility is to claim authority over our lives. And that begins with commitment. So it begins with making a commitment to yourself that you are going to learn and to live in a new way, to literally become potentially a whole new being. And that means that we have some work to do, or we have some healing that needs to be attended to. There are identities and ways of relating within ourselves that will not support us as we move forward. We have to let go of those. And so committing to this path is the first step. Saying, I am claiming authorship of my life. This is what authenticity means. At its root, it's choosing to be the author of your life and not giving that power and that responsibility to anyone or anything outside of you. So, claiming self-responsibility through commitment. And really here it begins with choosing to commit to a daily practice. I am really surprised and astounded at how many people I work with that still resist committing to a daily practice. If you are not willing to do that, then don't bother watching any farther into this video or videos to come, because the daily practice and the commitment to that is the foundation for self-mastery. It's where it all kind of begins and ends with you. And so what that looks like for you, you know, it's asking yourself, rather than making excuses for why you can't commit to a practice, we say in Kundalini that excuses are self-abuses. Think of it that way. Every time you make an excuse, it's a way that you are dishonoring and actually abusing yourself. So being willing instead to ask, what can I commit to? What is realistic? Is it 5 minutes? Is it 11 minutes? I do suggest a minimum of 11-minute practice every single day. But if you can only do 3 to 5 minutes, then that's what you commit to. Maybe you do 5 minutes in the morning or 5 minutes in the evening. You find a way to make it a priority. And there are many practices that you can choose. It could be, I do suggest moving your body and breath. I have videos here that you can utilize, or you can find somebody else whose practices you resonate with. You've got to find what resonates with you. But I love the practices of journaling and moving my body and breath first thing in the morning, and finding a way to meditate. So being able to come back into that neutral alignment that we started with today. So decide, make a decision now that you are claiming responsibility for your life, and you're doing that by committing to this particular practice every day. And again, choose something realistic that you know you can be successful with. And then you can always build on that. If you have a practice now, I would encourage you to ask yourself, how can I deepen it? How can I deepen my practice? How can I make more out of this time that I'm utilizing. So I hope this was helpful for you, and I look forward to continuing the conversation in the next 3 weeks. I'll be offering you 3 more principles that will support you on your path to self-mastery. Sending you so many blessings. Sat Nam and Namaste.